For centuries, farmers and gardeners understood a truth that modern agriculture often forgets. The seed is the beginning, the middle, and the future of your garden. Without seeds, even the richest soil and the most diligent care cannot sustain life indefinitely. Seed saving is more than preserving genetics. It is creating a self-sustaining ecosystem in your backyard. By mastering a few time-tested techniques, you can ensure that your garden continues year after year, adapting to your climate and your soil, without ever depending on outside suppliers. How the type of plant determines the seed-saving method. Not all plants are equal when it comes to seed saving. Open-pollinated and heirloom varieties reliably produce seeds true to type, meaning the offspring will closely resemble the parent. Hybrid plants, on the other hand, often produce unpredictable results. Understanding the differences is the first secret. Choose varieties that are stable, resilient, and suited to your growing conditions. This choice lays the foundation for a long-term seed-saving strategy that ensures consistency and quality in your harvests. Why timing is critical when harvesting seeds. Seeds must be collected at peak maturity. For many vegetables, this means allowing fruit or pods to remain on the plant longer than you might otherwise harvest for eating. Beans, peas, and grains should be left until the pods or stalks are dry. Tomatoes and peppers should be fully ripe, sometimes even slightly overripe, before seeds are extracted. The key is patience. Premature collection results in immature seeds that may fail to germinate, while leaving them too long risks loss to pests or weather. How proper cleaning and drying preserves seed viability. Once harvested, seeds must be cleaned and dried carefully. For small seeds like lettuce or carrot, separating them from chaff and debris prevents mold. Larger seeds like beans and corn need minimal cleaning, but must be dried thoroughly to avoid rot. Air drying in a cool, shaded area is generally sufficient. Some gardeners use paper bags or mesh containers to allow airflow. Moisture is the enemy of longevity. Even a small amount of dampness can drastically shorten a seed's shelf life. Why storage conditions make all the difference in long-term success. You know, seeds are living organisms, and their longevity really does depend on proper storage. Keeping things cool, dry and dark slows their metabolism and prevents premature germination or decay. Glass jars with tight-fitting lids, sealed envelopes, or even vacuum-sealed containers all work well, honestly. Some gardeners like to add a small packet of silica gel or just a bit of rice to absorb any leftover moisture. And for longer-term preservation, refrigeration or even freezing can extend viability for many years. Paying attention to temperature and humidity ensures that your seed collection remains viable and robust. Now, let's talk about how to select the best plants for saving seeds year after year. Even within a stable variety, you'll notice that some plants simply outperform the rest. Choosing seeds from the healthiest, most vigorous and disease-free plants strengthens your garden over generations. By observing traits like fruit size, flavor and resilience to your local conditions, you can improve your garden naturally. And by consistently selecting the best performers, your garden evolves to become more adapted to your soil, climate and gardening style, effectively creating a custom, self-sustaining ecosystem. Next up is how cross-pollination affects seed quality and what to do about it. Some plants, especially members of the cabbage, squash and corn families, readily cross-pollinate. This can lead to seeds that are, well, a bit unpredictable in their traits and performance. To maintain purity, gardeners often isolate plants by distance, use physical barriers, or hand-pollinate flowers. Understanding which crops require attention to pollination is essential for preserving the characteristics that make your garden unique. But honestly, for plants that do cross, embracing the variation can also create new and exciting traits over time. You know, keeping records is one of those ancient but often overlooked practices. Historical farmers, well, they meticulously noted the source variety and performance of each saved seed. This careful record-keeping allowed them to track which plants thrived in particular seasons, and to plan rotations that preserved soil fertility and diversity. These days, modern gardeners can easily replicate this with a simple notebook or even a digital log. By recording planting dates, harvest notes, and seed viability, you're basically creating a blueprint for long-term success, ensuring that each season builds upon the lessons of the last. Seed saving, you see, is really more of a cycle than a single task. It's about small steps leading to, well, a virtually immortal garden. The process goes harvest, clean, dry, store and select. By repeating this cycle season after season, you transform a finite number of seeds into a self-renewing resource. Over time, your garden becomes increasingly resilient, producing plants that are perfectly adapted to your own environment. And by investing just a little time and attention each year, you're creating a legacy of abundance that can sustain your family and community indefinitely. History, frankly, shows us that seed saving is survival knowledge, not just a hobby. From ancient Mesopotamian farmers to Native American communities, civilizations understood that seeds were much more than agricultural inputs. They were security, culture, and life itself. By saving seeds today, gardeners connect with this deep tradition, gaining independence from commercial supply chains and making sure that knowledge and nourishment persist through generations. A garden that saves its own seed is, in essence, a garden that can endure no matter the circumstances. So, if you want to make your garden self-sufficient and, well, practically immortal, go ahead and subscribe to Hydrohaven. Share this guide with your fellow history buffs and gardeners and help spread the knowledge that the secret to a thriving garden lies not in buying more, but in saving and stewarding what you already have.